What you're hearing right now is audio that's coming from the Sennheiser MKE600. It's a professional studio microphone which we got almost 10 years ago. And back then, it's sold for around 25,000 pesos. I believe that right now you can get it for only around 20,000 pesos, which may be out of reach, especially if you're just starting your YouTube or your content creation journey, which is why today we're going to be looking at a budget alternative from Maono called the PD100X. It's a gaming microphone, and I purchased this from Lazada. Regular price is roughly around 2,800 pesos. So, is this going to be a viable budget alternative? And how does the sound quality compare to the 25,000 peso professional studio mic? Let's go ahead and find out right now. All right, so this unit took a while to arrive at my doorstep. The listing itself had local units available, but when I saw the tracking, it seems that it came from China. So maybe they ran out of local stock. Okay, there are two designs, by the way, one with RGB, one without. I chose the one without RGB, five to 7 days. So, anyways, let's open it up. Okay, there is already an opening right about here. Okay, so this part was cut open, but I'm guessing it was cut open before this was sealed. So hopefully the product itself is still intact. There's a hole. It's a dynamic capsule microphone. It comes with microphone gain and headphone volume control. There's a mic windshield cover and is powered by Maono Link software. The setup instructions is already printed in the box itself, which is nice. Don't have to think about it too much. And of course, it comes with a thick user manual, USB A to USB C cable, the base for your microphone stand. The packaging itself has some pairs inside, so feels like we were given like an old stock or something that's been opened before, maybe refurbished. Next, we have the microphone itself. This is what it looks like from the back, with the connector, XLR connector, and the USB Type-C port. There's also a 3.5 millimeter audio jack where you can attach a headphone like this one. Can I fully detach the arm? Yep. Okay. So I have fully detached the arm now. There's a tiny button at the bottom, which appears to be the switch for the RGB lighting. Then over to this side, you have the mute button as well as your volume control or the gain, microphone gain control. So it looks like we didn't get a fresh unit, or the unit wasn't packed that well, because I'm seeing more damage in the packaging right here and right here. Let's try to remove the windshield from the microphone, and the pickups are located to the side. Now I'm gonna assemble the PD100X, and I'm gonna switch over to this microphone so that we can hear and audition what it sounds like. What you're hearing now is the audio coming from the Maono PD100X, which is connected to our camera via XLR. Now I'm gonna turn it counterclockwise. So if this has any effect on the gain, I'm not hearing it. It sounds unchanged. And I'm moving towards the right side of the microphone. Test mic 1, 2, 3. Sound check. Test mic 1, 2, 3. Now towards the left side. Sound check. 1, 2, 3. Test mic 1, 2, 3. Moving now to the bottom. Sound check 1, 2, 3. Test mic 1, 2, 3. Back to the center. Sound check 1, 2, 3. And now at the top. Sound check 1, 2, 3. Moving back to the center. Test mic 1, 2, 3. Now I've connected the USB so that we can check out the lights. But first, notice that the mute button already works. It displays a red line if it's supposed to be muted, but I can still hear myself through the monitor, which means it doesn't affect the feed that's passing through the analog channel or through the XLR cable. Now we're gonna go through the different lighting modes. First one is this cycling breathing RGB pattern: red, orange, yellow, green, blue, indigo, violet, white, and back to off. What you're hearing now is audio that's coming from the Maono PD100X connected via USB Type-C to the laptop. I turned the gain all the way up, and we're gonna go and try to demonstrate what the different buttons and dials do. So this is the mute button. I'm gonna mute it now. So when I press the mute button, if you notice, the indicator here turned red and the audio automatically got cut off. The feed that's going to my monitor also got cut off. It means it actually works. Now I'm gonna turn the gain volume all the way to the left. Okay, so it's counterclockwise, and this should decrease the gain. Test mic 1, 2, 3. Sound check 1, 2, 3. Now I'm turning the gain all the way to the right. Test mic 1, 2, 3. Sound check 1, 2, 3. So the thing about the gain button is that there is no physical or hard lock, which means you can just keep turning it to the right and turning it clockwise, and it won't stop turning. You just have to go by feel, or you just have to listen to your monitor to know that you're already at the max or the highest level. So now I'm gonna move back and forth physically so that we can see how it affects the gain, and I'm gonna try to maintain a constant volume. Now I am touching the microphone physically. I'm gonna try to move back for a little bit, and little by little I can still see the spectrometer hitting orange, but at this distance, which is about half a foot, around 6 inches, there is a decent amount of volume. Now the question there is how much of the ambient noise is it picking up. I'm gonna try to bring the gain down to a manageable level, and I can see the indicator in the Maono Link software going down, and right now it is at 52. Hello, mic test, sound check 1, 2, 3. So at this amount of gain, which is 52, I think this would be a decent gain level for us to get a clean feed, which we can then amplify or modify in post. So as I was looking through the Maono Link software, there are apparently two options for color modes aside from the static one, which you demonstrated earlier. There's also pulse mode. There is also a tone adjustment, and right now it is set to original. I'm gonna switch it to deep. Test mic 1, 2, 3. Sound check 1, 2, 3. This is deep. Back to original. Test mic 1, 2, 3. Sound check 1, 2, 3. This is original. And now to natural. Test mic 1, 2, 3. Sound check 1, 2, 3. This is natural. And there's a legacy option here, which we are using right now. Test mic 1, 2, 3. Sound check 1, 2, 3. This is legacy. Okay, we're going back to original. And I'm going to check out the advanced option. And from here, there appears to be equalizer control. So this is option 1 with the high pass filter. Test mic 1, 2, 3. Sound check 1, 2, 3. This is the second option with presence boost. Test mic 1, 2, 3. Sound check 1, 2, 3. And this is the last option with HPF and present boost. Test mic 1 2 3. Sound check 1 2 3. There is a volume control for the monitor. I just set it to 100 and I can hear myself clearly. There is also a limiter, so I am pulling the limiter down to negative 33, 36 decibels. It goes all the way down to negative 40 decibels. And now I am pulling the limiter back up to 0 decibels. There's also a compressor built in. And let's see if we can. So now I am moving the compressor down negative 60, negative 80. I'm moving the compressor up back to 0 decibels. Now there's also a noise option, which I guess is noise or background cutoff. I'm gonna move the sliders back and forth, but I'm not gonna speak. Those are all the different options that you get from the Maono Link software, which I must say is actually quite powerful. These are adjustments that you normally would require post-processing software, but you can do it all here in real time. The build quality and design, not that impressed, but hey, you're not gonna be looking at all the details if you're watching someone in the video. What is going to be noticeable is the RGB area. In terms of portability, it is very, very lightweight, so that's a plus. Okay, so I attached the handle in order to try to create like a stem in case you'd want to take this out and do interviews out in the field. I think there's potential here since it already uses USB Type C. You just have to plug it into your smartphone. So my takeaway here is that the Maono PD100X certainly has that gamer aesthetic. The audio is quite decent out of the box. Now, if that's not enough, you can always tweak it using the Maono Link software. It's not as bad as some of the reviews make it out to be. I watched one review or one video complaining about the gain on this microphone, and the guy was putting his mouth directly onto the surface of the mic. Now, any decent mic, including this 2,500 or 25,000 peso Sennheiser MKE600, is gonna get overloaded. It's going to clip once you get too close, and that is a sign of a good mic, actually, how transparent it is, and it's not modifying the audio source in any way. Now, the other thing that I like about this mic is its potential for versatility. Now, it was made and designed to be a fixed mic in the studio or in your streaming setup, but as you can see, you can bring it out with you on the field, connect it to your phone, and start shooting and start interviewing people off the streets. So for 2,800 pesos, it's okay. It's a fair price. And that's a good way for those of you out there to have a decent microphone without spending so much if you don't have the budget or you're still trying to figure out and decide if you want to spend more on your streaming or content creation gear. Do you agree with me? Is there a feature on the PD100X that stands out to you? Is there something that you really are looking forward to having in a microphone? What do you think of the audio quality between the two? Is the 25,000 peso Sennheiser MKE600 actually 10 times better in terms of audio quality compared to the 2,800 peso Maono PD100X? Talk to us in the comments. And for more videos like this, head over to Tech Kuya on YouTube, and we'll see you guys there. Alam.